This weekend, I spent an extra half hour repeating a job that I'd already done just because in the first time I didn't ask the AI for everything I wanted it to do because I didn't think it will be able to do that. There's certain things we know about AI, right? It's not good at writing text in image and it's not good at maths and numbers. It gets the numbers calculations wrong. And it's not good at formatting documents. They always look pretty basic. And it makes up references to things that don't exist, right? Oh, all of these things I just said are not entirely true. And let me show you how I learned this the hard way this weekend. Well, this weekend I decided to make a comics book. Now, I don't usually do these creative projects on the weekend, but a few days ago, my son came home from school and said, we're doing Secret Santa and we need to bring gifts. And the person I'm gifting to wants a Warriors Cat Magna book, which is a type of comics book. And I looked it up and there was no online one that will ship it on time, and all our local stores around us did not have it in stock. They could order it, but again, that was going to come in too late. And I thought, you know what? We don't even know which ones she has and which ones she doesn't. So we're just let's make one. And of course, I turned to AI. But here's how I limited myself. In the beginning, I was quite ambitious. I said, I'm writing a book for Secret Santa, a girl called Rachel, 11-year-old, lives in Melbourne. It's around Christmas. And it came back with a suggested story, a title, Rachel of the Arkland for the Christmas star. Beautiful. And it created their character reference, and for every page in the book, it suggested how many panels, page 3, 5 panels, and what's in each panel, describe the scene, thought and speech bubbles, sound effects, everything. So we went through some iterations on the story and how I will actually produce it and some of the details. I won't bore you with that. And then once we agreed the style of the images, I said, write each page as a prompt for the AI. We will add the text later in Canva. The AI should just make the pictures. So I limited us, saying that we will add the text later because I thought that AI cannot do that. Well, ChatGPT came with great prompts for each page. So then I took each one of those prompts that describes the images that I wanted, and I went to Gemini, Nano Banana, my favorite AI for images right now, and I just copied and pasted each prompt and received a beautiful page for my book. Look at them. I think they're fantastic. But no text. I copied each one into Canva, organized them nicely so that I can print them, and then I sat down and started putting the text in. But I realized that that's hard because I needed to choose the right font and I needed to figure out the placement of my text on the image, and that was going to take a long time. So after 1 or 2 pages, I thought, really? And I went back to the AI, to Nano Banana, and I thought I'll just give it a go before I go on doing all the pages. And guess what? I asked it to add the text and it did it beautifully. And so I then went through and copied each one of the original pages back in, gave it the text, and it added it in no time at all. I love it when I learn a good lesson through my hands and not just in the head, because the body remembers, and I am a lot more likely now to always ask for what I really want before I go and embark on a repetitive task that maybe the AI could have done for me. And look, there's the book. How awesome is that? Where else this shows up? Well, Microsoft Copilot recently became quite good at creating branded documents. So when we say, can you make it into an Excel for me or a Word document for me? And they used to be very basic documents. We can now give it reference and it will follow our brand guidelines. How good is that? And you know how we always thought that AI is not very good with maths? Remember how in the beginning it couldn't add up numbers or count the characters in a word or just do complex maths because it tried to do it as language, guessing the next word? Well, now AI uses tools and it's become very good at math, numbers, calculations, and data analysis. It doesn't do it in the same way. It doesn't go and predict the next word. It quickly writes itself a tool. It quickly writes itself a little bit of code that will analyze the data, and that is a lot more accurate than what you and I can do. And references, Yes, it still makes things up, but we're far from where we was. They would totally make up URLs that don't exist and you click them and they just wouldn't open. With today's reasoning and thinking models, the rate of hallucinations is going lesser and lesser and lesser, and checking them becomes easier and easier. When we read it, we click all the links, and we get other AIs to compare, cross-reference, and check as well. So my growth this weekend was getting more awareness to the assumptions I'm making about the limitations of AI and checking them again before I embark on a task that includes repeating a task for 16 times because there are 16 pages in the book. And I suggest you do the same. Question those limitations every time you do a task, every week, every month, because things are changing all the time. And when people discount AI by telling you, yeah, it's not good at this and it's not good at that and it hallucinates, that's okay. We all know that it gets better all the time, and all of those limitations are temporary.